So today po, I will be sharing with you some of the knowledge that I have and some ideas that you can also use in your activities for the library. Alam ko naman po, very common na para sa atin na makita yung Google Forms, especially kung may research kayo, kukuha kayo ng data, may evaluation, magre-register sa seminar katulad nitong ginawa natin. And for students or teachers, paggawa ng quiz and the likes. For this webinar po, ipapakita ko sa inyo some of the creative ways that we use Google Forms in doing our activities. Yung iba, creative, yung iba, out of the box, very out of the box. Ayan. So, to start po, I will just define what Google Forms is. Commonly makikita nyo po to sa Google dun sa apps, katabi siya nung picture nyo, yung mga blocks. Kasi part siya ng Google Suite. So yung Google Suite is collection siya ng applications na under kay Google or sila yung gumawa. So as I have said earlier, it's commonly used for data collection, evaluation purposes, quizzes, and the likes. Then, I can bet na karamihan ng encounter natin with Google Form has something to do with Google Forms getting information from us, be it the name, the email, number, or kahit anong kind ng sagot. Kasi yun po yung isa sa pinaka main function ni Google Form, ang pag-collect ng information from an individual. Pero have you ever used Google Forms in creating puzzles, interactive storytellings, or creating stories? Of course, yung quizzes, very common na po yan. For mind maps, search. Okay. So for one of the styles that we did is called an escape room. Ang style po kasi ni escape room is ipapakita niya sa'yo yung form, then magkakaroon ka ng choices. Tapos pwede mo siyang ituloy, and kung tingin mo medyo mahirap na, you can escape from it. Pero yung pinaka-purpose nung style na to is to go through all the stages. Kaya po siya tinawag na escape room. Parang pag kasi tinapos mo siya in the middle of it or sa start pa lang, parang you're quitting it already. So I will be showing you one of the examples that we did is called Magbugtungan Tayo. To explain what it is, ang style po niya is yung mga bugtong is inilagay namin sa Google Form, and yung mga bugtong na yon hindi lang namin siya isinama. Inilagay din namin siya sa loob ng isang kwento para magkaroon siya ng context clues in a way. Para mas madaling maintindihan ng bata kung ano ba yung pinapahulaan namin sa kanila. So dito, ang title ng activity namin is Ang Tindahan ni Aling Bebang. Isa pa pong magandang approach if you are going to do these kinds of activities is have graphics. Yung graphics, it can be grabbed from Google searches, or if you also have even a few knowledge in sketching, drawing, you can maximize that para po mas maging personalized and much more attractive and creative yung magiging outputs nyo for your Google form. So let's go through with this. Magbugtungan tayo kay Aling Bebang. I will just show you some of the parts. So dito, ano kaya ang paninda ni Aling Bebang? Isang pinakapatok na paninda ni Aling Bebang ay laging ginagamit ng mga estudyante o kaya ng taong mga naghahanap ng trabaho. At kahit bumili ka ng 10 nito, tiyak bukas bibili ka uli dahil nawala ito o naiwan mo kung saan man. Ano kaya ito? Tapos ilalagay po natin dyan yung pinaka-statement ng bugtong, kung saan bugtong-bugtong, maliit, parang sibat, sandata ng mga pantas. Tapos nasa baba po niyan yung mga choices. Ngayon, ano ang iyong hula? Ito ba ay ruler? Ito ba ay patpat? ito ba ay ballpen o ito ba ay batuta? Sabihin natin isa siyang ruler. Pag ni-next po natin siya, malalaman natin kung tama ba yung sagot or hindi. Pag mali yung sagot, katulad po nito, pinakita niya na, nako, mali ang iyong hula. Tapos sa baba po, pwede nating tingnan kung gusto mo ba nating sumubok ulit na sagutin yung hula. Ayan. Balikan lang po natin para pakita ko lang po sa inyo yung flow. Tapos, itry naman po natin yung tamang sagot. Yung tamang sagot po para sa bugtong na ito ay ballpen. Sa tingin ko naman po, nasagot natin yung lahat. Ayan. Ayan. Pag po tama yung sagot natin, magko-continue lang po yung story. Yung next part po ng story is another bugtong inserted sa isang kwento. Yun po yung isang style na ginawa namin for bugtongs. Pwede nyo din po siyang gamitin for English. Ayan. Think of creative ways lang po on how you can integrate your activity with Google Form. Ayan. Balikan ko lang po. Ang next naman po na style na ginawa namin for Google Form is create your own story. So dito po sa create your own story, ang naging idea naman po namin dito is isang story but it has different endings. Kumbaga, yung endings or yung flow ng magiging story is dependent on the choices of the reader. Hindi lang siya isang linear na story, kundi kung nanonood po kayo sa Netflix, if you're familiar with Bandersnatch, medyo ganun po yung flow nito. Pero in a bookish form. Yan. So, katulad po ng sabi ko kanina, if you have some skill in drawings or sketchings, you can also use that for your Google Forms. Ayan. So, ipakita ko lang po yung My Lucky Day. So, si My Lucky Day, ayan. So, si My Lucky Day po ay isang story na in-adopt namin. Partner ko po dito si Miss Ann Bansig. Ayan. So, yung writer po ng story is originally Keiko Kaza. Then, let's start the story. Next. So, can I ask for some help with this, Miss Roda? As I have said earlier, kasi there are choices to be made by the reader here. May choices lang naman po tayo dito, 1 and 2, okay? So, let's start the story. One morning, a fox is getting ready to hunt for food when suddenly there was a knock in the door. So, let's continue the story. Okay. When the fox opens the door, a piglet is standing at the door. Suddenly, a picture of a roast pig came to the wolf's imagination. So if we scroll down, there is the choice. What will Piglet do? This is the part where the reader will be the one deciding. So, Miss Rhoda, will the piglet run away or will Piglet freeze and get dragged inside by fox for dinner?
For me, Piglet will... sorry, hindi ko mabasa. The second choice.
Second choice. Piglet freezes and gets dragged inside by fox for dinner. Let's select that. Then, let's click next. Ayan. So, for here, I think something was wrong. Okay. Pero we'll go with this na lang. So, this is the choice po for Piglet will run away. Pero I think there was something wrong with the form. Pero I will show you naman po the nitty-gritty parts kung paano nangyari itong story, create your own story na style dito sa Google Form. I'm really sorry for the wrong connection with the story. Okay. Piglet was able to run away from fox, but the fox was very fast. Piglet saw a cave that he can use to escape fox. So let's click next. While running, fox did not notice that it was very rocky, so he tripped on the rocky field and fell flat on the dirt and rocks. Piglet saw what happened to Fox and ran even faster inside the cave to escape Fox. And then let's click next. Okay, so on this part, this is one of the many endings here in the story. Can you discover all the endings that we made? Ayan, ito po yung na-mention ko earlier. So, dahil po nagkaroon ng problem, siguro time na po para ipakita ko yung nitty-gritty part kung paano nagawa itong Google form na create your own story style. Ayan. So, yung style po ng paggawa niya is parang gumagawa lang kayo ng normal na Google form kung saan meron kayong nilalagay na text, meron kayong nilalagay na options. Ang pinagkaiba lang po nitong style na to is we're going to utilize the sections. Ano po ba yung sections? Yung sections po kasi is parang siya yung naghahati-hati ng isang part ng form to the other. At ang maganda po sa kanya, pwedeng magkaroon ng skipping line yung sections. For example, kung sa isang institution, nag-ask sila ng form na hindi naman kayo related doon, pwede nyo pong iselect yung no. Then, hindi na po kayo pagsasagutin ng form. It's somewhat related to that. Ganun po yung principle na inadapt namin dito. Ngayon, scroll down ko lang po. Ipakita ko po sa inyo kung saan yung first option natin. Ayan. So, ito po yung pinakita ko kanina, yung part kung saan nag-open na ng door si Fox. Then, dito nga po pala sa style na create your own story, ang pinakamaganda pong option or type of question na gamitin sa kanya is multiple choice. Kasi we tried short answer, pati yung check boxes or drop down. Minsan po hindi siya dumidirect or may times na talagang wala po yung option na kailangan para mag-redirect siya to a different section. So, paano po ba yung ganong style na nagre-redirect siya sa ibang section? If nakikita nyo po ito or kung na-notice nyo ito, other than the option, there is this part of the question of the choices na nakalagay is continue to next section. So, by default po, hindi po siya lumalabas agad sa isang form. Para po ma-activate siya, you need to go here at the medyo bottom part nitong highlighted area. Click the 3 dots for more options. Tapos, dyan po lalabas yung description kung kailangan nyo na magkaroon pa ng other describing text for your question or your choosing. Then, ito po yung function na kailangan natin, yung go to section based on answer. Then, yung isa naman po is shuffle option kung gusto nyong nagja-jumble-jumble siya. Then for this, ayan. Kaya po nagkaroon ng problem earlier is because hindi po nakatama yung connection. Sabihin na lang natin na hindi siya na-check kasi isa din po yun sa importanteng meron kayo sa paggawa ng ganitong style ng Google Form. Kailangan po is check. Kasi kahit isang option lang po yung maselect ng user or ng reader na mali, is hindi na po magtutuloy-tuloy kanina. Like yung pagkaka-demo ko kanina na epic fail, ayan, dahil po yun dito sa hindi ko na-check na option. So, if i-click naman po natin siya, ipapakita po niya lahat ng sections na nasa loob ng Google Form. So there are 28 sections in this Google Form. And from that, yung isa pong tip na maiibigay ko if you're going to do something similar of this create your own story style is have a script with you. Yung sa script nyo, maganda pong style siguro na gawin nyo muna is have your own flow of the story. Kahit wala po munang choices. Kasi yung choices, pwede nyo po siyang gawin while building the whole story. Yung choices naman po is very random kung ano yung gusto nyong mangyari sa kanya. For example, maging nakakatawa ba siya or hindi. For example of that is, yan, yung nadapa si Fox. One of the options naman that we have is the piglet is getting cooked. Ayan. This story is really fun. I will also be sharing the link po of this Google form so you can check it out later. Ayan. Scroll down ko lang po to see, for you to see the whole story without reading it, just the illustrations itself. So, Piglet is having a bath with Fox. Um, so, kung mapapansin nyo din po, medyo may parts na redundant or paulit-ulit, katulad po nitong picture na to. Ito po kasing part ng story na to is medyo similar siya throughout the story. Kumbaga, paulit-ulit yung statements ni Piglet na wait, 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 na naiiba-iba lang po yung magiging flow ng story. Ayan. So, may cooking, may eating, may nag-eat pero it's not enough because Piglet is too small. So, he went out. And when he went out, there's another fox. And the fox was a girl pala. And they fell in love. And that's the end. And one ending is with the Piglet eating and getting fat. And I'll just scroll down po. And one of the endings naman is Piglet having or getting a massage from Fox because Piglet said here na his meat is too rough or too tough because very tense siya from what happened. Then Fox became tired, Piglet ran away, and that's the whole story in a nutshell, in a very quick way. Ayan. So, ang pinaka ano lang po dito, tip ko sa inyo is, ayun, have a script, check. And for your illustrations naman, you can reselect that, have a picture from a Google search, or if you have a picture of your own, you can Photoshop it, have a collage of pictures to tell the story that you want. Also, one style po, pero I was not able to share it here. You can have a playlist here using Google Form. Kasi in Google Form po, for example, you already have your library instruction videos that you created using green screen. You can put it here in a Google Form, have the video presented because there's an option here with YouTube. So, try lang po natin. It's not a problem naman po if I break this Google Form. So, just search the link of the YouTube video. Then, for example, library, or if you have the link, much better po kasi mas madali, isa lang yung choice nyo. Ayan, so click lang natin siya, then let's select. Then i-insert na po niya sa form natin. At nasan siya? Kasi medyo nagulo po. Ayan, nasa bottom po siya. So from here, pwede po natin siyang i-align. Then we can create another section na we're going to ask some questions about the library lesson that we have or we gave them. Then, for example, what is a library, or what can you see inside the library? What are the library rules? Those are some of the ideas po that you can use Google Form for your activities and also for your lessons. Ayan. So, going back to my slides, ayan. So, other than escape room style, then there's create your own story style. There's also one of the things that makes Google Form very powerful is add-ons or Google Workspace Marketplace. Ito po yung mga application that extends the functionality of Google Forms. For example, other than the responses of the people who answered your form, Google Form can automatically, for example, send you a certificate that you have passed a quiz, for example, just like this one. For the example that I have Lit Quiz 1. You can access this by bit.ly/gformad. So, if you try answering po this Google Form, if you pass, the quiz, you will be receiving a certificate. The quiz has 4 questions. You are going to pass if you answer 3 questions correctly. Don't worry po, you can retry and retry hanggang ma-perfect nyo po siya if you like. Ang purpose ko lang naman po dito is to show you that other than quizzes, Google Forms can also give you a certificate that you have really passed and you have proof that you have passed. Okay? And before I end po my presentation, it's a very short presentation po. Ayan. So, these are some of the things that I want to share with you, and I hope it instills with you. So don't stick with what is, but imagine what can be. Because in Google Forms, not just in Google Forms, is if you just stick with what you know about it, na it's about collecting information lang and it's already that, parang mawawala na yung parang creative side nyo. So, think of some ways that you can use Google Form in creative activities such as the ones that I have shown you. Then, another thing po that I want to share is an acronym. It's COBIE. COBIE, C-O-B-I-E, not Kobe, the late NBA player. So, in a way, ito po yung parang magiging roadmap nyo sa paggawa ng Google Form activity or kahit hindi outside of Google Form, ways of creating interactive activities. Yung first po is letter C, which is collaborate. Have someone help you, or if you like doing something alone, that's also good. That's up to you. Then, pero if you like to have a bunch of people that critiques your work, and which is much better kasi mas broad yung perspective na mangyayari dun sa activity nyo. So, collaborate. Then, next po is letter O, and that means organize. So, in organizing, have your thoughts, because in collaborating, there's also the brainstorming part. So, organize the ideas that both of you have shared with each other. Then, for letter B, it's build. Build in the sense na create your Google form siguro, make your script, make your plans for the activities. Then for next one is letter I, is integrate. Integrate, dyan nyo po malalaman kung anong platform ba yung gagamitin ko. Okay na ba ako sa Google Form? Okay na ba ako sa Docs lang? Okay na ba ako sa Google Sheets lang? Integrates applications that will be useful for your planned activity. Then for the last one po is letter E, it's execute. Execute meaning ipapakita nyo na po siya to your patrons, to your clients, to your users, to your students, other employees. Kaya ko po in-emphasize yung cute because not to ano na it needs to be very cute. It just tends na be creative. Kasi in my personal opinion po, I don't give out anything that I did kung hindi siya pasado sa standard ko o hindi ko siya nagugustuhan. If hindi ako natutuwa na makita siya, most probably hindi ko yan ipapakita kahit kanino. So, think of yourself as the student that you want your activity to be doing. For ilagay nyo yung sarili nyo to the shoes of the students. Think of it as, kung ako ang gagawa ng activity na to, magugustuhan ko ba to? Hindi ko ba siya magugustuhan? Pangit ba yung graphics na ginawa ko? Nakakalito ba yung redirection ng mga forms? Yung wordings ko ba madaling maintindihan ng bata if your activity comprises of the whole grade school, if it's from grade 1 up to grade 12, yun bang grade 1, maiintindihan yung mga deep words na alam na ng grade 12. So, yun po, isasama nyo din siya sa mga considerations in doing your activities, especially during ngayon na we're doing everything online. Ayun. So, that's the end of my presentation po. It's a very quick one lang. hope that you were able to grab some knowledge, tips, or techniques from me. Then, if you have questions, you can put them down in the Q&A, or if you want it to be more direct, I have my email here. We can exchange ideas in doing your activities too. It's richard.ravalo@dlsabel.edu.ph.